game number 3. And don't forget, this match has top lane implications as well. So,
The Stone Rain Mirror match.
yeah, basically. You have stifles in yours? I got 4 in mine.
There are no stifles here.
But pretty traditional list here from Sears.
The big incentive to be playing the blue white red in creature mirror matches is your access to True Name Nemesis.
Okay.
And that is a really challenging card to get into play against against Rug Delver because they have 4 wastelands, they have stifles, they have dazes. Like 3 mana spells are just very challenging to resolve against Rug Delver when your deck is structured a similar way.
A Ponder is going to start things here for you, as Sears is going to take a draw step here. He has drawn a Brainstorm. He's got a Delver of Secrets that he does not want to play on turn 1.
He's trying to stifle.
Yeah. Got there.
Congratulations.
Yes. Ting-a-ling. Followed up with the Daze. And he's floated a mana with the Daze, so take that, Stifle. So he will have a land, but
just stone raining each other.
Yeah, actual just stone rains. The Magnivore Mirror. So don't forget, there is a mana floating now from that Daze. To Stoneforge. Okay. Really good turn.
Yes. Good opening for Bradley here.
There's a Batterskull. Pass the turn back. You see Sears does have a Lightning Bolt in his hand. I just don't know if he has the red source of mana to cast that.
His hand did appear to have several cantrips, so if he doesn't draw a Volcanic or a way to get one, we're likely to see him cantrip here in search.
Well, step 1 is a Ponder. Hit 1, 2, 3. Scalding Tarn, Wasteland. Yeah, he's got it. This is kind of interesting too because he could take the Wasteland, just blow up a land, and then take the Scalding Tarn. So this is actually a really interesting decision to make.
Yeah.
Wasteland's looking mighty appealing right now because he can just keep up the. He's basically taking the play back now.
Right.
So hiya, yep, and he's gonna Wasteland that red source. Like it.
Stone Rain Mirror.
Yeah. Hope you like your lands, man.
Yeah. These lists also play 38 lands total between the 2 decks. So there's only so much of this that can go on until someone taps.
See a fetch land there for you. He's probably going to play that for the turn. He's going to sacrifice right away because he doesn't want to get stifled because, Stone Rain.
Yeah.
So, is he going to search up, does he have basics? He
does not.
I can't imagine he does. Search out a Volcanic Island. I'm pretty sure there's no way he could have a basic in his deck. So.
7 duels, 9 fetches, 4 wastelands.
Bingo. He's got a Batterskull. He's got another Stoneforge Mystic. He's got a Pyroblast, a Brainstorm that he can main phase right now, but that Brainstorm doesn't seem so great. So take a draw step. Sacrifice. Let's go hunting from Scalding Tarn and go to Volcanic. And bolted out of the sky. Especially because since you had to play Scalding Tarn to get a red source of mana, Sears knows that he still has a Tundra in the hand from the early turns in the game. Pew. Shoot that thing down. So Stoneforge bites the dust. Let's see what the follow-up play is going to be. Because he's got some cantrips, he's Delver too.
I think we should just cast our Delver here.
Yeah, I think you want to get that established. All right, Pyroblast takes care of that, so a little trade action. Sears pass the turn back. You take a draw step, draw Swords of Plowshares. And now here's Stoneforge. So we'll see what equipment he does search for this go around. And he's going to be Umezawa's Jitte.
I still think the first order of business, if he gets an opportunity to untap here, is to get that Batterskull into play.
Yeah, I think that's step 1. Super hard for Sears to take care of. If you're Sears, do you want to go searching for another Lightning Bolt?
He kind of has to. I mean, his only alternative is to just cast his Tarmogoyf, but he's not going to be able to keep his head above the Batterskull and Umezawa's Jitte that's looming as well.
Touchdown.
Finds the bolt.
Got to keep it too, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much he loves the other cards, but I think he has to keep Lightning Bolt right now. He can't beat Batterskull if he gets into play. I mean, taking a look at his sideboard, he does have an Ancient Grudge, which I'm sure he did bring in, but he doesn't have it right now.
Well, in theory, I think he could. I think what he's thinking about here is he could actually put the land on top, play the land, and then brainstorm with the brainstorm in his hand, still pick up the Lightning Bolt, and shuffle away something.
Okay.
It's potentially a big risk against Daze, but based on last turn, there's a pretty good chance that Bradley does not have Daze in his hand.
Agreed. How many Dazes? 4?
4 copies.
Yeah.
Daze is really powerful with Stone Rain, so
That's neat.
they're a good. They're a good pair.
That's fun. This takes a Stifle. That is interesting. Delver the Secrets card drawn here for you. I think what we might see is Stifle the Living Weapon trigger.
Yes.
Assuming that Batterskull is put into play, not Jite.
There are some risk with this lines, but the upside is huge.
Delver or Cantrip. Bolt. Activates. Stifle the Living Weapon trigger. Okay. So
I'm
this
surprised.
is,
If we were gonna do that anyway, I'm surprised we wouldn't have just bolted the Stoneforge Mystic straight away, because it's not like the Batterskull is that powerful in Bradley's hand.
yeah.
He's not really realistically gonna get to 5 mana.
Yeah, and like in the Mana Screw Mirror.
Right.
Yeah. Here's a Brainstorm. So hit 1, 2, 3. And I think realistically, like, your big goal is to just always have those Stifles take care of lands,
Yeah.
because that's what your deck is, kind of all about, is just making sure that your opponent doesn't have lands to function. And especially with the printing of True Name Nemesis, a card that Yu does have in his hand, it's really important you keep him off of 3 lands.
I mean, if we were going to go ahead and stifle the Living Weapon trigger, then I'm not a huge fan of killing the Stoneforge Mystic in the first place.
Sure, because it's not doing very much.
Right, yeah, he still has the 2 mana cast Luminous Jite. He doesn't need to go through the Stoneforge Mystic.
So now we're going to get Delver established. Pass the turn back. So Sears is going to untap his 2 lands. He needs to get something on the board and start putting pressure on his opponent. He draws a Flooded Strand for the turn, which he knew was there. That's the final card from the Brainstorm. Or from the Ponder, excuse me. Alright, so you see the clock in the middle for the players here. We're at about 5 minutes left. Brainstorm to start the turn. Ponder. Daze. Misty. Daze, not a bad draw here, because there's a True Name. So Tarmogoyf is being placed down by Sears, as is a Misty Rainforest.
It doesn't seem necessary to have the 4th mana at this point, so like getting rid of one of the lands there. Isaac, I believe, searching for another tropical island, probably to deploy Tarmogoyf this turn. Going a different route, perhaps.
Feels unsure of himself. Okay. Tropical Island it is. So be pretty careful playing a deck that does have 4 wastelands. He could lose that volcanic, which would be a problem.
Yeah, we've occasionally seen Rug Delver decks play a Taiga in their list for exactly this situation. If Isaac had a tropical and a volcanic, he could go get Taiga and then would not be able to be wastelanded off of any one color of mana.
Tarmogoyf going to attempt to show up to the party here. It does resolve, and we'll figure out how big it is in just a moment.
Bigger than 1/2, I'll tell you that much.
I promise you are correct. And it's probably dead now, so there's that. Delver's Secret's going to flip into Insight to Operation. Swords of Plowshares is the card that you does draw. And you can really see why this deck that Turtenwald basically used to win the Grand Prix, it feels like it has a really strong Rug Delver matchup.
Yeah, I mean, being able to be an aggressive tempo deck that gets access to Rest in Peace because it doesn't care about its own graveyard. And Rest in Peace is a haymaker against Rug Delver. Nimble Mongoose, no longer efficient. Tarmogoyf basically shut off. Also, getting access to Swords to Plowshares is a big deal, too.
Yeah, getting 8 removal spells in Swords and Bolt is huge to keep Delver in check so they don't get the free ones that way. And then, of course, if the game does drag out a little bit longer, which like this one is, at some point, I feel like you is going to draw True Name, or the land for True Name Nemesis, and you see the True Name Nemesis here. We're going to fight over this for sure.
Yeah, you see True Name Nemesis warrants a Pyroblast from Bradley. Isaac cannot daze it fast enough. And so the race may be on. But Bradley's got a pretty substantial head start here. And there is also the possibility, as remote as it may seem, of him actually being able to equip that Batterskull onto the Insectile Aberration at some point here.
Yeah. You see for you as Tarmogoyf is going to get into the red zone here, jokingly.
Keep his legs warm.
Absolutely.
No harm.
Yeah. Attack you. Take 0. Thanks. Pass the turn back. So Swords, Bolt, True Name, and a draw step. Ponder. Start by attacking for 3. Put Sears down to 11. The really important thing here is you is winning the life race.
And has Bolt in hand. I mean,
Yeah.
he's considerably ahead of the damage race.
He's got all the flexibility in the situation, which is really, really scary because his Tarmogoyf comes off the top, which is basically a blank card, so he's going to start by pondering because he's got Bolt to, win the race. He's got Swords if he needs to, for whatever reason, target his own guy to gain some life back that way. Sears has to answer not just the Delver, but the Nemesis, and as we've already talked about at length today, it's very difficult for Rug to handle an opposing True Name Nemesis. Trouble. Even though he has to resolve the Nemesis of his own, it might be too late.
Yeah, he's definitely on the back foot here, and doesn't have much in the way of life gain and not a ton of removal to catch back up. Though he has found a Rel Elemental Blast, which is helpful in answering the Insectile Aberration, of course.
So Ponder gonna resolve. Red Blast to the grip. Red Blast is gonna fire that thing down. Delver gonna come into play, likely gonna flip next turn. It's gonna leave Sears with just a Tarmogoyf in hand that doesn't do anything.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna flip. I think to take that Red Blast, Isaac had to leave Nimble Mongoose and a fetch land on top. So that Delver might be down for a little while if I saw things correctly.
Uh-oh, another Bolt.
Now we're down to a 2-turn clock.
Yep. Start with Ponder. Swords, Brainstorm, Wasteland. Wasteland's not bad since it just takes out the red source, so that's not so bad. Okay, so he's going to keep it. Going to play a Swords to take care of the Delver. No shenanigans there.
And this is also fine for Bradley because it doesn't change the clock at all. The plow takes Isaac up to 12, and Bradley is dealing damage in multiples of 3 here.
So up to 12, down to 9. 2 bolts plus a True Name Nemesis. That's 9.
That's exact 0.
Yeah, that is exactsies, as they say. I don't know who they are, but they say it.
I say exactsies a lot.
Yeah, Sears says, well, no sense in not attacking. Get in there.
Can't block, so.
The Goose, make it loose. Pass. Upstairs. This is the worst feeling in the world, by the way, when you get bolted on the unstep. The absolute worst feeling.
If I was Bradley, I probably would have waited until he had to untap because the way he played it, if Isaac had to Spell Pierce, he would have been able to use it, and that could have been avoided. But Isaac with just a Tarmogoyf in hand, and Bradley Yu, your winner.
So Bradley Yu moves on to 7-1 with Blue-White-Red Delver over Isaac Sears, who will not be in the top 8 this evening. The Blue-White-Red Delver player will be. So congratulations to Bradley, as we'll be talking about him later this evening, as we'll bring it back to the booth here for you guys. Cedric Phillips.